Hello everyone. This is my World War II presentation that I have been working on for the last 2 weeks. It has 10 slides and will take you through all the greatest and minor events of World War II. Let's begin. My name is Yuvan Kalu in 5th grade, so I will be your host today. So, before we get into the actual war, we need to discuss the pre war. The pre war is basically everything that happened before the beginning. So, first, in 1933, January 30th, Adolf Hitler became the chancellor, meaning leader of Germany. He then started a party called the Nazi Party, which is the main antagonist in all of World War II. He then formed a pact with his ally, Italy, or back then known as Fascist Italy, called the Rome-Berlin Axis Treaty on 1936, October 25th. This was basically a non-aggression pact between both of them and would fight together. He then forms another non aggression pact and an alliance pact with Japan or Imperial Japan called the Anti Comintern Pact on 1936, November 25th. Now, the Anti Comintern Pact is basically a pact against Russia or the USSR and communism. Communism was the form of government in the USSR which Germany and Japan did not like. Okay? And on July 7th, 1937, Japan would invade China, taking like big parts of it, including some parts of actually all of Northeast China and some parts of North China. This played a massive role in Japan's uprising, which is why they were the last ones to surrender. Germany's next move would also to annex the country of Austria into Germany on 1938, March 12th. Now the war actually starts. In 1939, Germany and the USSR would sign the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Yeah, actually, this pact was named after the names of famous people in both the countries. Okay, so the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact was a non-aggression pact between both of them. So like they just wouldn't attack each other, and the pact would also split Poland, a country between them. Like Poland would be like over here. So like the USSR would be here and Germany would be here. So like Germany would get the western half and the USSR would get the eastern half. Okay? And a non-aggression basically means you would stay out of other people's expansionist attempts. Now, Germany commences the pact on September 1st, 1939, from the west, sending almost all of their troops in a war tactic called Blitzkrieg. And on September 17th, the USSR invades Poland from the east. Now, on September 3rd, France and Great Britain finally declare war on Germany. Now, before all of this, they were using appeasement on Germany so that Germany would take over other countries in Europe but not attack them. Okay? But then France and Great Britain just had it. They wouldn't stand to see Europe fall, so they finally declared war. Now we're going to enter 1940. So first, the German army then invades Denmark, which is over here, and Norway. So they invade and take control of both of them on in in the time span of April 9th to June 9th. And now, with Denmark and Norway in German control, they proceed to use their new war method, which I have already mentioned, called Blitzkrieg, to take over the Benelux countries, consisting of countries like Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. So, like Luxembourg, Belgium, and Netherlands on 1940 May 10th to June 22nd. So then, they also took control of much of northern France, which would be over here. Like they took control of this part, all of that, only leaving this part, okay? And on May 30th, Winston Churchill would become the leader or prime minister of Great Britain. He led Britain to victory in World War II. Italy then entered the war as a member of the Axis powers, aka the bad side, consisting of Germany, Italy, and Japan, and some other minor countries. Okay? On 1940th, June 10th. Then Germany wants to take over Britain as well. So they launched some air raids on British land on July 10th. That lasts until the end of October, guys. That's actually 3 months. So June, July, no, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. That's like 3, 4 months. Okay, like that's a lot. Okay, so even though the German Air Force, aka the Luftwaffe, held a ferocious and strong battle, the Royal Air Force, aka the British Air Force, defeated them victoriously. And then Japan, Italy, and Germany signed the Tripartite Pact on September 22nd, creating the Axis Alliance. So this was basically the triangle of war. That's how I like to call it. Now, on 1941, the war seems to be looking up for Germany. They put a massive toll on Britain and they took control of a lot of European land. Now, keep in mind that not all of this land is German land. Some of it is German influenced or German control land. And as you can see, Switzerland was a peace country back then. So, yeah, like it's just not. Yeah. Okay. So then Germany breaks the non-aggression pact between them and the USSR. So they send a huge force of over 4 million troops over to the USSR, attempting to control it on June 22nd. Japan also gets pretty overconfident and attacks the Democratic US Navy in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii on December 7th. Okay, the US was mad. Okay, like really mad. Because then the next day, the US joins the war against like Germany, Japan, and Italy. On 1942, as soon as the US joins the war, their first move would be to attack the island of Midway, a Japanese island back then, like stranded across the Pacific. Like as you can see, Midway would be here. So this like severely weakened Japan's naval and air power because Midway was a significant base for Japan. Okay. Now on 1943, the Allied powers would then invade Sicily, an Italian island which would be over here. They completely took it on July 10th. Italy then surrenders to the Allies on September 3rd. That's one Axis power down, 2 more to go. But however, Germany actually helps Mussolini the Italian leader, escape and set up a government in northern Italy. But that didn't work because he actually got executed in 1945. In 1944, it's Germany's downfall. The USSR would push the Germans back, and on June 6th, the Battle of Normandy, or D-Day, is when the Allies invade Vichy, France, or basically German control. They would just invade all of France, okay, to liberate it from German control, okay? Now, on August 5, Paris actually gets liberated from German control. France is freed and they can fight on the Allied side. On December 16th, Germany is surrounded by Allied, consisting of Soviet, British, American, and even Canadian troops. Germany would then launch their last major attack, known as the Battle of the Bulge. This was actually a really big battle, even though Germany still lost. This was because they still had a lot of troops back then. Even though it put up a good fight, the Allies would seal the fate of the German army. The last year, guys, on 1945, February 19th, America invades the Japanese island of Iwo Jima, like over here or here. It's here. After a fierce battle, they take the island. The Japanese had really strong war tactics, like they hid in holes, shot the Americans, but somehow the Pet Eagle people, they won. Now on April 12th, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt dies, succeeded or replaced by Harry Truman. On March 22nd, the Third U.S. Army crosses the European Rhine River. April 30th, the ruthless German leader Adolf Hitler takes his own life because he knows that Germany has lost the war, like they're completely surrounded. On May 7th, Germany officially surrenders, making VE Day, Victory in Europe Day, the day after. On August 6th, Japan is still not done. Italy's gone, Germany's gone, but we still have Japan left to go. So on August 6th, the US drops the atomic bomb called Little Boy on Hiroshima, Japan. Like this is this is atomic. Like there was so many casualties, like almost 5 million. The city is like completely smithered, like obliterated. But the US's badness is not done. Because 3 days later, on August 9th, the US drops another bomb on this time Nagasaki, Japan. Fun fact, they actually meant to drop the bomb on a different city, but they didn't succeed and they dropped it on Nagasaki instead. Now, the Nagasaki bomb was called Fat Man. It was so much more powerful than Hiroshima, causing even more casualties. Okay? Now, on September 2nd, Japan would officially surrender, with the Allies emerging victorious, officially ending World War II. Like with over 80 million casualties, 80 million, the war is over. So to summarize it, the Allied powers emerged victorious. It resulted in more than 80 million casualties, and it was the bloodiest war of all time. And it is actually celebrated in victorious countries everywhere. Examples are Russia, USA, UK, and France. And like after World War II, it led to nuclear threats and warfare. Okay? So I hope you guys liked my presentation. I definitely will make more like these, and I will see you next time, guys. Bye.